Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Crunkest Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the Warzone. Stay every night on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. At 7 o'clock, you know who I am. I am the 5-star general. HISD say they in the business of protecting kids from sexual predators on our school campuses. Well, I'm going to show you tonight why they just flat out lying. And it is what it is, man. Let's get to it. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the Warzone and tell you thank you for taking the time out to tune into your favorite black conservative. And if you don't know what that means, man, that means I'm a Republican. I'm not fooling with them peoples no more. But that's not what I'm really here to talk to you about tonight. We're going to get into this HISD thing. And I'm going to tell you why we're going to get into it. But before we get into it, let's go to the current news in the city of Houston. Let's go to it.
Two more testing mega sites are opening in the Houston area tomorrow to keep up with demand.
Hold on, y'all. It's coming.
They include the former David Buster's on Richmond Avenue and the Kingwood Community Center. Marcelo Benito live here, one of the big testing sites we've been talking about in Minute Maid.
Yeah, Marcelino, we saw those long lines last week, but people are still frustrated with this process. How are things looking today?
Well, guys, I can tell you things are a lot better than they were at the same time last week. In fact, folks we talked to today say it was pretty easy, pretty routine to find one of those tests, but the problem remains getting those test results back quickly. Demand for testing in Houston is still high, but with more mega sites now online,
the process was really fast.
Things starting to improve. The city's new mega site at Butler Stadium hit a minor power snap this morning. It delayed the opening a few hours. But by mid-morning, cars were moving. No appointments.
Went through lit maze and less than 2 to 3 minutes, you was through.
Out of the county, cars in line long before this Harris County testing site at Katy Park even opened. But once they did, waits were minimal. And at Minute Maid Park Lot C, the testing site, that's a 4 to 5 hour waits last week. A ghost town by comparison today. No more than a dozen cars.
I've been searching online. Places like Walgreens and CVS.
Tests are backed up to like next week.
This week,
really, this is the only place
that has multiple.
Folks say the key is to try to book first thing in the morning.
If you don't start early, you're not going to get one for the same day. It's going to take you 3 or 4 days out.
But finding a test is only the first challenge.
There have been delays.
Getting results back quickly remains the bigger problem.
Goal is to turn those testing results around in about 24 hours.
In some cases at the very beginning,
because of the number of tests that have been done, that it may have taken anywhere from 3 to 5 days.
The sheer number of tests conducted as of late, plus the holiday weekend, has slowed reporting results even more. But the mayor says, with new sites operated by different vendors with their own labs coming online this week, how long it takes to get results should drastically improve.
When they're having to wait, for example, 3, 4, 5 days, then they're not as useful, because you can't expect people to just stand around and wait around for those 3, 4, 5 days.
Now, the mayor's point there is pretty important. You'll recall the CDC says once you test positive, they recommend isolating for 5 days. If getting test results back right now in the city of Houston takes 4 to 5 days, well, that makes those tests pretty useless, as you heard the mayor say, and they're hoping to change that in the coming days.
Trying to do better, Marcelino.
Thank you.
Say, man, I want to tell you, if you need to get tested, then go get tested. But this is what I want to talk to you about. Sheila Jackson Lee had a problem with pop-up testing sites. And she's saying that they don't know if they're good places to go to, that some of these people may be fraudulent. And she represents the 18th Congressional District and said these sites are popping up all over the country and may be out to steal your personal information. Now, we definitely don't want that to happen. She called it a national issue and is now asking the FBI to look into the problem. Jackson Lee's comments Wednesday came after Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner made a similar warning about some sites. Jackson Lee said she heard from lots of people who are having issues with pop-up facilities. She said some of these sites target low-income and non-native communities. Let's go down here to this final paragraph. Jackson Lee said some of the temporary sites are charging people to get tested, gathering personal information, or not providing results. She said failing to provide test results in a timely manner could result in life or death situations. I want to come over here to you because I want you to understand something. You can't throw stones at glass houses. Yesterday, I just told y'all that this woman needs to be investigated for her affiliation into hospitals and pharmaceutical companies. And so now you wake up today and you're very concerned about testing sites, and you really want to get a lot of these pop-up testing sites closed down. Well, if they in business for the wrong reasons, they should be closed down. But I think you got an ulterior motive. I think you have an ulterior motive. I think you got some money in the game in this, because you don't really care about human life. Because if you cared about human life, Congress Lady Jackson Lee, you'd be on your job about them cancer clusters over there in 5th Ward in Cashmere Garden. You know, the ones that's been killing people for decades. But now all of a sudden you got a problem with testing sites. And you want to know why? Because I got a strange feeling you making money off of it. You and your little friends that you done put some of these pop-up sites in their churches and different other places that you put them. The same way y'all put voting machines in restaurants. So you go get you a drink and get you some shrimp fried rice and get your vote on at the same time. You are not slick. And the more that we open our eyes to her, the more you're going to understand that this is all a game. It's all a game. Tonight, I come to you to talk to you about something very near and dear to me, which is kids. But it's a different type of situation. I was reading the agenda for the board meeting, and the item number is K8. I remember the number without even looking at it. I'm not looking at anything. I remember the number because it pertains to the safety of our children on these school campuses around these quote unquote hired pedophiles. And they want to make sure that if something happens to the kid, they report it to CPS. They want to make sure that the parent is notified. Hold on a second. Y'all ain't been doing that? If something happens to a kid on a campus like that right now, you're going to have to go through at least 2 or 3 readings, so 2 or 3 months of trying to get this new board policy in place. But yet you are governed by state policy, which everybody knows if something happens to a kid on a campus sexually related with somebody that works at the school, that you are supposed to notify CPS. Now, Mr. Miller House, I know y'all watching these videos, or you got one of your cronies watching them. I think y'all full of it. I think that our children are not safe on these campuses. And I know for a fact that they're not. So you coming into the boardroom, laying out this quote unquote new policy. And I think that you're coming in to do the right things. That's a great thing. But see, we're governed by state policy. And right now we have a school district that doesn't want to follow state law anyway. So you've not been following state law as it pertains to those types of issues. And I'm going to show you why. I know you have not been following state law. Let's go in here and let's look at this. This was in 2019. HISD teacher charged with sexual assault, accused of sexually abusing a minor at a local high school. It happened to be Worthing High School. And you know why I went to that one first? Because that young man and his family were my clients. I know for a fact that you don't do what you're supposed to do. In that instance, the principal that was there was on it immediately. But my issue is how all these pedophiles getting around you in your personnel department. How are they able to even be hired and get around you when you're supposed to fully vet people? Let's read a little bit of this. 51-year-old Houston Independent School District teacher assistant is facing charges of sexual assault after she allegedly coerced a male student into sexual relations, including at least once in the school's parking lot, according to the court records filed by the Harris County District Attorney. The student, who was 16 years old at the time of the alleged sexual abuse, told investigators that Tidra Fullen had coerced him into oral sex, according to November 22nd charging documents filed against Fluellen, who's working at Worthing High School for the past 2 years. In a court hearing, a magistrate set her bail at $40,000. So you coerce a 16-year-old, and I know the first thing that y'all are saying, that he was 16 years old, man, come on. No, he was a 16-year-old special ed student. HISD, you full of it. You full of it. How did this woman even get a job in our school district? So this was 2019. So now it takes you all of this time to come up with policy to address this, right? It takes you all of this time to come up with policy to address this. And you know what the crazy part was, y'all? This was the crazy part. She slept with him in the car at the school. His folks reached out to me. I took the assignment pro bono. I wanted the woman in jail, and it was what it was. HISD police did their part. But the problem for me is this has been an ongoing issue for a long time. And now you want to sit in the boardroom and say that you care about children's safety. Now, what's crazy to me is you have a board member sitting there right now. I was there when all this happened. Never once said anything. You can come out in public on everything else, but you can't say nothing about protecting our children. Maybe you didn't say anything because the child was black and you just happen to be not black. Yeah, I'm gonna call you out. And this same trustee probably would never say anything about it for one reason. You want to know why? Didn't your brother sexually assault his own kid? Oh, I'm gonna have you out. I'm gonna have you out. And I know if your people watching, how does he know that? I know everything. And you know what's so pitiful about you? Is you told another board member who happened to be a female, and they never did anything. So our kids really safe, but the governing body of the district doesn't give a damn about the kids. So why am I supposed to think that the administration does? Well, hold on, man. Because that's one time, Monroe. Well, hold on, let me share the screen. Because I come with receipts. I come with receipts. This is March 12th, 2021. Another special ed student went to his teacher to report sexual abuse. HISD says that was his mistake. Are you serious? Are you serious? Let's read a little bit of this. Let me read a little bit of this for you, and then you tell me. In breathtaking bit of legalese, attorneys for the Houston Independent School District are arguing that because a special ed student told his teacher and not his principal that he was being sexually abused by a classmate in the school restroom, his lawsuit against the district is without merit. Somehow, in the spring of 2018, the then 16-year-old at Chavez High School, who functions at the level of a kindergartner or first grade, is described as having extremely low social skills, should have known he was telling the wrong person he needed to speak to a person in authority, and according to HISD, that is the principal and not the teacher. But yet, our kids are safe, and their safety is of utmost importance. So you telling me that Katasha Woods and Elnita Hutchins Taylor, the general counsels of the Houston Independent School District, said that this was this baby's fault? And I call him a baby because he's a high school student functioning at the level of a kindergarten. But he was supposed to decipher that if something like that was going on, he needed to go to his principal. You a damn lie. He only needed to report it to school personnel, and he did that with his teacher. He did that with his teacher. But that's how you do them when they come to you. According to the attorneys representing HISD in the federal court case, Texas law says that a successful file a complaint of discrimination in Title IX case, sexual abuse claims fall under this law. The plaintiffs have to show that an appropriate official had actual knowledge of harassment. A teacher under Texas law does not qualify, it asserts. Yeah, if it pertains to somebody that functions at the level of a 16-year-old, but y'all don't want to pay no money when you get caught doing all of this foolishness. But our kids are safe, am I correct? Well, hold on, man. They just might not be. Let's go back a bit, because I come with the receipts. Let's share a screen for you. Ex-HISD officer accused of improper relationship with a student. This was at Cullen Middle School, my neck of the woods. This grown man was making this 12, 13-year-old child give him oral sex in the police office at the school. Do you clearly understand this dude didn't even go to jail? He didn't even go to jail. And I'm talking about he should have went to prison. That didn't happen. But our kids are safe, remember? They're definitely safe when it comes to HISD. A grown man forcing a young girl to have oral sex on a school campus. And now you want to talk to us about the safety of our children on the campus when there's a sexually related issue. It needs to be reported. Did you count like 2 months ago when a whole bunch of girls was at Madison High School complaining about them coaches? Even a transgender kid said the coach inappropriately came at them. But our kids are safe on these campuses. Am I correct? Well, see, I don't even have to put any more screens up. Let's talk about what happened at North Forest High School. Oh, y'all don't want me to bring that one up, do you? HISD, you remember this one? When one of your cops got one of them girls pregnant at North Forest, and the whole, damn near the whole upper brass of HISD police covered it up until 05 Star got wind of it. And then all of a sudden, a whole bunch of them had to leave. The child had the baby, the whole 9 yards. But you protecting our children on these school campuses, right? And I know what some of y'all would say out there that's pro-HISD. Oh, well, that was in the past. No, that's this now. Madison High School was 2 months ago. And this is going on. And you ain't even got the decency to tell the community, the kids, the parents, nothing what you done did with that principal over there. You have a whole high school that doesn't have a principal there. Why? Because she knew and she tried to cover it up. So now you're trying to make it go away quietly? I'm not going to let it go away quietly. Don't come into the boardroom with your paper rules and regulations and policies that you don't have the guts to even follow. We would rather protect our sorors and our frat brothers than we would to protect these children. 9 women sat on the school board 2 months ago. And not one of those women, black, white, Latino, Asian, opened their mouth about the sexual allegations that were being thrown out into the public by children as well as me. HISD, you didn't give a damn. You want to keep it quiet? But you know what? I'm going to say, see, I get to say whatever I want to say here. You feel me? I get to say what everybody else can't say because they work for Walmart or they work for you. Since you don't give a damn about our children, y'all that sit on the board that got children, we don't give a damn about yours. But you would never put your child in a school where somebody's been sexually assaulted. You would never do that. Matter of fact, a whole bunch of board members' kids went to private school. Yeah, we know how they got the money. You feel what I'm saying? So you want to, if I say that, oh, he's just being so mean. And no, I'm being real about it, partner. I'm being real with it, man. This been going on forever. You even had a case one time, a sexual allegation came up, and that was the 3rd one in 1 week. Where are you finding these people? So I'm going to tell you, your little black kids are not safe. Your little white kids are not safe. Your little Asian kids are not safe. Nor is your little Latino children not safe. Your immigrant children are not safe. Your LGBTQ kids are not safe. They're not safe, bro. So if all we gonna do is come in here and make a policy, but yet we have state law to back us up, and then you get lawyers who come in and say, well, he didn't report it to the right person, it should be, how do you throw that out? How do you, because he reported it to the wrong person? Let me tell you how dirty these people are. Little girl Janicia was on the bus one morning with two of her friends. And they were going down that 610 freeway. They were headed over to Fur High School because the schools in our neighborhood were not good enough for them. They had nothing to offer them. So they would get up every morning and go to this magnet school over there by that Fur. Well, that particular morning, the bus went over the overpass at Telephone Road and made a right and flew off the side of the freeway. This is the same school district that faulted those children on that bus for their own deaths. I know one of them, Mama. Mama came and sat with me at Cullen Middle School where her baby should have been going to school, where I was trying to raise money or get books for a library that didn't have any. She was going through all that pain, and she still came and sat with me. But she said, because what you're doing is trying to make this school better. And if it was better, my child would have never been on that bus. But this the same school district that blamed those children for their own deaths. This is the same school district, even though this woman fought to have legislation change to get 3-point safety belts on the school buses. It's the same school district that overloads the school buses every morning. These people don't give a damn about no kids, man. These people in the business of making money, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. If the virus is so bad, then why they making them kids go in them schools? You scared to even put a busload of us in the boardroom right now. And your boardroom is spaced out. But you want to put 25 to 30 kids in a classroom with a mask on because you are not in the business of making sure that children are safe. You're not in the business of doing that. So don't sit here and act like you give a damn about your sexual predators who you hire, who you vet. Don't sit here and say you give a damn, because in all actuality, you don't. You realistically don't care at all. Santos, you the last board member. And see, we're rolling y'all in and out of here. You got lucky on this one. You and Digard. But you and Digard, Judith Cruz, Danny Hernandez, Kathy Buford Daniels, Patricia Allen, Myrna Guidry. None of y'all had nothing to say about those kids with those sexual allegations against those coaches at Madison. And y'all women. You know why? Because you don't want to upset the apple cart. You don't want to mess up your little change that you're getting on the slick. But you don't give a damn. The only thing y'all give a damn about right now is making sure whoever got them contracts for the masses, they keep them. You get your little kickbacks under the table. The only thing you give a damn about right now is making sure that they get the jab in the arm because you're making money under the table. And then loading up your partners with them URSA funds so that they can act like they tutoring and mentoring these kids and they ain't doing a goddamn thing. But they making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. This is what you guys are doing. This is what you are doing on a daily basis. So I don't want to hear your horror stories. I don't want to hear your sob stories. I don't give a damn about your kids. Because you don't give a damn about ours. And that's what it is, man. But that's what I expect from you Democratic operatives that sit on the school board. Why have just answer this. I want every one of you women out there to think about this. If they care so much about girls or boys being sexually assaulted on these campuses, you had a school board with 9 female members. Answer for me. Maybe you guys can do it. Why did nobody say anything about those sexual allegations at Madison High School? Grown folks messing with kids. Why did nobody say anything about it? Because in all actuality, you're the worst board in the state of Texas. That'll improve in about a week with the addition of Kendall Baker and Bridget Wade. You're the worst school district in the state of Texas. You push everything off on these kids, but you will not hold these adults accountable. You would rather protect your brother from Alpha Kappa Alpha. You would rather protect your Q dog. You would rather protect your AKA or your Delta before you protect these children. And now you want us to believe because you have the great Negro savior, your new superintendent, that things are going to change? I know one thing: snakes don't change. Snakes do not change. And if you didn't give a damn 2 months ago, you don't give a damn now. And you people better have a hands-on approach when it comes to your children in this school system. Because if something happens to your child and they end up physically hurt, they're not going to tell you the truth. They're going to battle you to the death and not want to pay you any money. But they will sit up there and let somebody steal money. But you don't want to pay when y'all are the ones who are allowing these things to happen to these children. Now, who the hell work in your personnel department? Who works in the department that vets these people? I can go one deeper. Let's go over to Jeff Davis a few years back. That was my assignment too. Remember, you hired a pedophile and I pulled up his criminal record in the boardroom? You hired him. He over there masquerading as the mariachi teacher. Well, homie, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't speak no El Spaniol, but I know you a El freak. And y'all hired him with this on his background. But you give a damn about our children. You give a damn about them. I give you credit. As long as they can be bullied, raped, beat up, murdered, you good. But if they just want to go to school and get a quality education without all the drama, without somebody trying to get in their little 5-year-old panties, you got a problem with that. I don't want to hear nothing from none of y'all. Don't call me. Don't say nothing to me. Because everybody sitting up there now was sitting there 2 months ago. You're trash. You don't deserve to govern our children. And you know what's so sickening? That this teachers union will go to bat for them nasty mother. You know how many of these band directors, slept with these majorettes? And I don't understand y'all grown men up in there for one reason. I'm going to be honest with you. Look here, man. If you're making a little money up in there, they always got somebody who ain't making as much as you. You can get you some grown-up kitty cat and leave them kids alone. But when somebody reports this to HISD, the kid becomes a target. The parent is threatened with CPS gonna come get them. This is what y'all do. So I'm trying to figure out, why should we respect y'all? You don't respect our children. You steal our tax money. And you're constantly allowing our children to be sexually assaulted. Y'all don't even want to know how many times this done happened in the 10 years that I've been around this camp. Y'all don't even want to know. So what I'm going to go do, I'm going to go read some of these comments. I want to see what y'all talking about. All right. December baby. There was one here on TV just tonight being investigated, not giving people their test results in a matter of days from getting tested. Looks like her Cinnabon is about to fall off her head. Avery Ayers, please keep pulling the rug back on this foolishness. Thank you, 5-star. December baby, again, I know I'm off topic, but what do you think of the cop that was speeding and got on the sidewalk and killed a 62-year-old man? You can touch on that before you close. And now he should go to jail. Vehicular manslaughter. You don't do pit maneuvers on the sidewalk. Avery Ayers, our children must be safe in a learning environment. God help us. December baby, oh wow, not his own kids. My God, where's the protection of the kids? December baby said as long as he reported it then to the teacher, should have gone to the principal or bring the child to the principal to report it as well. Now that's sad not to believe that young man. When it was reported to the teacher, the first thing that the teacher was supposed to do by state law was immediately call CPS and then go report it to her principal. That's what she was supposed to do. Immediately call CPS. Avery L. say, what is going on with HISD? Sharon Thomas, good evening. Let the truth be told. Larissa Mayfield Napper, HISD is about money. As long as the kids attend school, they get paid. Abrevia Miller is going to stop their money. Abrevia Miller, again, everybody getting their cut out the deal. To Ray said, all the schools are full of shit. They don't care about the kids. I pulled mine out of Bloom Academy charter yesterday because all they do is call CPS and she's going to homeschool her child. Exactly. And I don't blame you. Avery Ayers, my God, HISD is in trouble. What is HISD President House, I think you meant Superintendent House, going to do to clean house? Watch out for that Tammy Sotomayor chick. So let's go over here to the phone. Let's go back. Let's look at some of these comments. Kanicha Walker say they still quiet. Fallon Denise, yep. Educate the parents and the guardians. That's what she want me to do. That's what I'm doing. Fallon Denise said, I'm calling. Yes, they are. And I'm out, Gary Monroe. That's it. Go to CPS. They call or threaten to call CPS or the police on the parents. Say, I'm telling you, that's what they do. When the parents get on the school's behind, they want to call CPS on the parents, but you ain't going to call CPS on the pedophile. Hold on a second. So if somebody did something to my daughter and I went to the school and complained, you will call CPS on me because I'm upset. But you won't call CPS on the pedophile. That makes perfectly good sense in the twisted mind of HISD. That makes perfectly good sense in the twisted mind of HISD. That lady, that teacher's aide at Worthing had slept with that young man 3 or 4 times. She baited him in, bought him a phone. His grandma figured out someone right. And the grandma the one broke the case. I'm going to be honest with y'all. And then somebody connected her with me, and we did what we do. But And I will say that the principal that was there jumped right on top of it when she got it. Every principal is not like that, but it still happened. So the only thing I can say in that manner is, how did that person fall through the cracks of HR and end up in our schools? How did that teacher at Jeff Davis, who was assaulting those children, end up in our schools with a background? A sexually related background, sexual offense related background. But these people end up in our schools. And this is not isolated pertaining to race. They're molesting white children. They're molesting Latino children. They're molesting all of these children. You never know when your child is going to be a victim. And that's why it's so important for you to be on top of this school district, because they don't care. And at the end of the day, you are the best advocate for your child. You may get on that phone and call me, but I ain't getting on that phone and call you. I ain't calling nobody. I'm going to be honest with you, man. If it happened to my kid, it's finna be hell to pay the captain, partner. And I mean that. I mean that. The reason that a lot of this is happening in schools is because a lot of these people don't have what it takes to run a school. A lot of these people were put in a position as principals and assistant principals based on who they knew. They were not ready to be principals. And when you are running a school and you have to delegate, you see what I'm saying? That means as a principal, you're not going to really do the day-to-day. You're there to monitor and to supervise. The people up under you have to get the job done. And part of their job is to make sure that our children are safe from these sexual predators that reside on these campuses. Now, you put that thing on the agenda, and I got my email. I'll be there tomorrow night because I got something to say. I got something to say. And I don't trust one of them board members to deal with any of our children in any capacity, because you let your own brother molest your niece. Yeah, I got the documentation. I got it. You don't care. You don't care at all. I'm the bad guy, remember? I'm the bad guy because I expose it all. I'm the bad guy because I tell the truth. And someday the truth is very, very ugly. It's very ugly. But to protect our children, I'm going to keep telling the truth. I'm going to keep telling it. I don't care. If that forces TEA to come in here and do what they do, I don't give a damn. You know why? Because these kids deserve better. Just because a lot of them are poor, more poor than affluent, that doesn't mean you can treat them any kind of way. It doesn't mean that you can treat them any kind of way. And some of you people that are involved with our children have no business being around children at all. You show up at the schools, you want to take pictures like you care so much, and you'll even stop and what's your name? Don't nobody care. Won't you ask that pedophile what his name is? And the sad part, a lot of the administrations know who's messing with these children on these campuses. I've been doing this 10 years. So, Mr. House, welcome to hell. But I will tell you this, young man. Ain't nothing you can tell me about this here, homie, that I don't already know. Your administration you got working for you right now, they know about every one of the cases I just put up. They know about every single one of them. They were there. They were here. But I guess, and I'm gonna just say it, man. I guess since they was just little nigger kids, it didn't matter. Didn't matter. I'm gonna bring hell on earth to this school district, man. And for you to even put that on the agenda, that tells me that there's a very big disconnect. You don't have to put it on the agenda. You're gonna go through 2 or 3 readings of this. That means 2 to 3 months. We would have to wait for this to become policy in HISD. So for 60 to 90 days, you're saying that our kids are basically on their own in these schools for 8 hours a day. And it is what it is. $60 to 90 days. And then I can guarantee you, if it happens, you still ain't gonna do jack shit. Because when it gets to the personnel office, they're gonna cover it up if they have the right Greek affiliation. Yeah, y'all Greeks, y'all should be snatching letters left and right, but I don't see y'all saying nothing. So y'all cool with these thieves and these little baby rapists running around our school district. And you cover for them. You cover for them. I get it. Trust me, I do. I get it. Those kids are not important. The only thing you want is for them to put a mask on and show up in them buildings every day, and you take that role and you make your money. But I'm going to tell you something. God is tired. God is sick of the Houston Independent School District. God is at a point where he's going to put a whole bunch of y'all in a reprobated mind. See, I ain't no Bible thumper, but I know a little bit. I'm a sinner in training. And he's going to put a whole bunch of y'all in a reprobated mind. So for y'all that don't know what that means when God himself don't want nothing to do with you. And as we can see, with the fall of your little duck dynasty, he's slowly taking you guys out. God is not pleased with the Houston Independent School District. God is not pleased with the teachers union that fights tooth and nail to make sure that these people don't lose their certification when they rape one of our children. God is not pleased when the sorrow in the personnel's office covers it all up. God is not pleased when a parent goes to the HISD police, which I don't think will happen now with the new chief. I think he's on it. But God is not pleased with the police officers that have slept with our babies. So you're going to have to do far more than write a paper policy for us to feel comfortable with you dirty, nasty, you know what I want to call you, sitting around our babies all day. You got a whole loose English down the hallway, but you're looking at a 5-year-old girl. Let me catch you. God is not pleased, man. God is not pleased. I asked him all the time. I don't question what I'm supposed to do. But why did you choose me? He give his toughest assignments to his toughest soldiers. And I always laugh because I say, well, people don't like how I do what I do, but, you know, God, you just told me to do the assignment. You didn't give me no blueprint. You didn't give me no instructions on how to do it. And I don't really know how to deal with a pedophile but one way. And it is what it is. It is what it is. These people are garbage. And don't get it twisted. Oh, well, Monroe, you wanted to sit on the board because I ain't garbage. Sheila Jackson Lee is the same thing with you. You run around with a pastor every single day that ain't even supposed to be around kids because he has a criminal background and he's a registered sex offender. But y'all ain't got nothing to say about that. But you won't put my name in your mouth. A registered sex offender. Make sure you check your kids before they go to school. Make sure you check them when they come home. Make sure you have those conversations with your baby. They're never too young for you to ask them, did somebody touch you the wrong way? Because if you don't, you're going to regret it. Somebody listening on here, either your child, your grandkids, your nieces, your nephews, something, your godchild, somebody listening to me tonight, you are supposed to listen to me. That's the way the high power set it up tonight. You're supposed to hear this. Because your babies are surrounded by demons. So the next time you want to write legislation, the next time you want to write a policy, HISD, won't you write one that if you get caught stealing, you come off the board immediately. I'm going to keep coming. And I'm going to keep coming. And I'm going to keep coming. But remember, this is business. Don't ever make it personal. Because I'm itching for you to do that. I promise you that. I'm itching for you to make it personal. And I promise you, I'm going to peel you back like an onion. Say, man, it's a reason I'm the best in the business. Every night, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, 7 o'clock. There's a superhero coming to the board meeting next week. But HISD, get ready, 5-star coming tomorrow. You know what it is, man. I'm the 5-star general. I get to go into my playground tomorrow night. And remember, sit up there and eat that soup. Or it might cost you another $300,000. Sit your $5 ass down before I make change. Until tomorrow, I'll holler at you.